If you call me and say I found a house online, can you show it to me today? Maybe. But before I take on a new buyer and we start looking at homes together, there are 3 things I actually require. First, I need a pre-approval letter from your lender or proof of funds if you're paying cash. You do not have to be pre-approved before you call me. If you're months away from buying, working on your credit, or don't even know which lender to call yet, reach out. I'd rather talk to you early. But before we start touring houses, we need to know what you can realistically buy. Second, we're going to have a buyer consultation. This is where I learn what you're actually looking for, your price range, timeline, areas, must-haves, and any deal breakers. But it's also where you learn how the process works. We'll talk about offers, earnest and option money, inspections, financing, appraisal, closing, what you can expect from me, and what I expect from you. I would much rather explain all of that before you've fallen in love with a house and suddenly need to make an offer. Third, if I'm taking you on as my client, we're going to sign a buyer's representation agreement. Texas now requires agents to have a written agreement in place before showing residential properties to a prospective buyer. There are different types of agreements, but if I'm representing you, we're going to establish that relationship before we start touring homes. And I want you to understand what you're signing, not see the paperwork for the first time while we're standing in someone's driveway. Why I require it? When I take you on as a client, I'm doing a lot more than unlocking doors. I'm helping you find the right home, write and negotiate your offer, navigate inspections, financing, appraisal, contracts, and everything that happens between the first showing and closing. So before we start looking at houses, I want to make sure you're prepared and that we both understand how we're going to work together. So pre-approval or proof of funds, buyer consultation, and buyer representation agreement. Those 3 things happen first. And if you're not ready for all of that yet, you can still call me. There's a difference between being ready to start home buying process and being ready to start touring homes. If you're thinking about buying in Amarillo, Canyon, or Bushland, reach out and we'll figure out your next steps together.